we welcome staff, students, and visitors to our broadcast. We begin our broadcast with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today is Friday, September 2nd. It is a day 5 on the specialist schedule. The weather will be sunny with a high of 75. And lunch is nachos supreme, sides of lettuce, tomato, and cheese, and refried beans. Fresh bacon, fresh and canned assorted fruit, assorted fresh veggies with it, in the Munchie Bunch Yum box. Here are today's top stories. Happy Friday and National Coloring Book Day. We made it through the first week. Now for a joke. What do you call a bear with no teeth? I don't. What? A gummy bear. Ha ha ha. Please welcome Mrs. McDonald.
Well, you made it through the first week of school. Isn't that fantastic? And today we're going to do something great. We're going to have a fire drill this afternoon. And so I'm hoping that you will do your very best to go off quietly and follow your teacher's directions. Now, a couple of other great things that are happening. You're getting to be better in the lunchroom, and I'm really impressed with the way that you're doing our recycling, composting, and all that. Please keep up the great work. Now, on Fridays, we always announce our Paw Pride winners. And for our new students, I have this big container of prizes, and you're going to come down to the media center, okay? You're going to come outside the media center in the heart of the city. I'll be standing there, and you're going to take your prize. So are you ready? Here goes. From the Inspire and Embark program, we have Michael Chappell Brackett. From Kinder Academy, we have from Mrs. Butine's classroom, Cole Kalbau. From Mrs. Hansen classrooms, Hayden Toya. From Ms. Kepsel's classroom, Lars Pfeiffer. From Mrs. Shorter's classroom, Cole Rothstein. And from Mrs. Schwichtenberg's classroom, Ms. Schwichtenberg's classroom is Jackson Teabrake. Now our Kinder Academy students, you're not here when the actual live broadcast is going on, so you will come to the office with one of your paras. In kindergarten, we have from Mrs. Kurtz's classroom, Daphne Massengel. From Mrs. Palmatier, Emily Feynman. From Mrs. Reeves, Hayden Toya. From Mrs. Van Bergen, Sophia Velasquez. In grade 1, from Mrs. Benson, we have Vanessa Barrett. From Mrs. Boulat, Ellie Seafelt. From Mrs. Wilkinson, hope I say this right, Gina Lee. From Mrs. Williams' classroom, Ben Rothstein. From grade 2, Mrs. Bogart's classroom, Christopher Cheetah. From Mrs. McMahon's classroom, Noah Escalera. From Mrs. Taylor-Thone is Jesus Ailman. From Mrs. Tellingheisen is Cecilia Carlson. From grade 3, from Mrs. Becker is Ms. Becker is Clara DeWall. From Mr. Gustafson, Morgan Adams. From Mrs. Swenson, Jake Berg. From Mrs. Torrey, Finn Stanley. From our 4-5s, from Mrs. Akers, Piper Buss. Mrs. Constantine, Jack Maves. From Mrs. Curtis, Julian Bunny. From Mrs. Henderson, Tyler Burton. From Mrs. Meyer is Jack Anderson. From Mrs. Ottinger is Stephanie Lopez. And from Mrs. Rowley is Kaylee Taylor. So come to the heart of the city and I will give out the prizes. Now we're going to have a fantastic Friday today. You are not here on Monday due to Labor Day. And it's a long weekend. Some people think of this as the last weekend of summer. It's not really officially the end of summer until the end of the month of September, I believe. And so we have a lot of great things you'll be doing. I want you to stay safe. Come back on Tuesday. It will be a day 6 when you come back because we are on a 6-day schedule this year. And we are going to start our short week next week. It's going to have some great things happening in the school. Today, be alert. There's a possible fire drill. It's a great day to have it since it's sunny and 75 degrees. And we're going to make today a fantastic Friday. I know you can do it. Remember to roar with pride.
Thank you for watching. Our broadcast was brought to you by Nora Gansky, Elise Severson, and our tech crew, Kate Yezzi. Have a great day at school. Remember to roar with pride. Roar.
Fantastic.